Hey, hey, hi, welcome back. Come on in. Today I thought I'd have a go at a paint effect. Well, before we start, this is not a tutorial. This is just me messing around. Having a go, it's something I've seen done and I thought I would try and give it a go, but in my own way. So yeah, it's more of a how not to than how to. You can, of course, just skip to the end and see the end result and see if I made a mess of it or not. I wouldn't blame you. But if you want to see me doing it, stick around and watch and see. I've had these two obelisks for ages now, and I like the shape and everything, but I don't. I hate the effect on them. I think it's one of those spray stone effect things. And in fact, I think it was done in the 90s. You can read on the bottom here, someone's calling it, for some reason, Pig Style 1996. Then you got their telephone number and whoever did it. And I'm sure in the 90s they were perfect, but not quite what I want. And so I'm going to have a go at trying to do them and make them into something else. First thing I need to do is to get this sort of 3D stipple texture off, because I want them obviously to be smooth. I'm going to try and make them look like some sort of stone, but I'm not quite sure yet. I'll see how easy it is to get this off. I may have to use paint stripper, but I'm just going to have a go at scraping it. This blade seems to be doing the trick, so I shall carry on doing this. You don't need to watch because it's very boring, but I just want to get it down to a flat surface. Well, all the flat bits came off quite easily. Curvy bits, not so much. So can't decide, paint stripper or I've got a blowtorch. I'm going to try the blowtorch because it's quicker. So if this video doesn't get finished and comes out, it'll be posthumously, because it'll have been found amongst my charred remains. Wish me luck, I'll be back in a bit. Right, here goes nothing. Okay, I haven't got a tripod, so I'm going to have to put this down and scrape it off and come back. Right, well, I brought them outside, which probably was the sensible thing to do in the first place, considering I then realised I was inside standing right under a smoke detector. Not the best idea, but yeah, about 40 minutes, both of them stripped down. I think they're okay, but unfortunately it's exposed some bare wood, and I can't find any primer anywhere, so I'm going to have a go at just putting on some of this water sealant stuff. It says it's for concrete, so I'm sure that's perfect. Anyway, we'll have a go and see what happens. Okay, well, annoyingly, earlier this year I threw out tons of different spray paints, bits with dregs in that I thought, oh, they're no good, I'll get rid of those. So I'm really limited on what colours I have, but I just want to put some sort of base coat on just to see if I've missed bits or there are still some lumpy bits or whatever. So I found this, that'll have to do as a base coat, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, I can't do this and hold the camera, so I'll be back. Well, it looks like it's gone on fairly consistently, considering it's just one coat. I'll wait for it to dry, and then I'll give a bit of an inspection and see what needs doing again and what I can get away with. Okay, right now, I haven't told you, but I've decided I want to try and make it look like carved malachite. And so I have fished out some malachite jewellery just to see if I can get some of the colours right. And I'm trying to mix up this pale background colour. And that's going to go over the base coat that I've already done. And it's looking grey. How am I going to get that intense colour but pale? Don't know. More yellow? Let's try more yellow. Okay, I feel we're kind of getting there. It's not so far off. And this is only going to just be stippled over as a base coat anyway. That'll do. Yeah, I'm sure that'll do. Okay, after about an hour, these are more or less dry, but the base coat has kind of revealed some lumps and bumps, and I'm not sure with the paint technique that's going over it, whether that matters or not, but I do have a feeling I'm going to regret not spending more time at this stage getting the base right. But hey, you know, they can just go back in the cupboard for another 10 years if they don't work out. Okay, let's start stippling. So, using again this as inspiration, I found this, which on its own seems to actually be quite a good colour. But I have mixed up a slightly darker one as well. And the idea is to apply it. Now, I have watched tutorials and then completely ignored them. So how I go about this will be interesting. What I've got are just lots of bits of cardboard I've cut off and then done. Is that focusing? Yeah. Just a rough jagged edge too. And you shall see why in a second. I've put a dollop of the dark and a dollop of the lighter one, and the idea, well, the idea is, I think, to get more on there. Now this is where I wish I had all my craft stuff, because I think it really could do with scumble glaze, which would loosen it up and allow it to flow a bit better. Not so sure about this. Don't know. Not sure about the cardboard. Let's try and just splodge some on. And then go over it with this comb to get it more spread out. Okay, what I've done is I've just kind of covered the whole thing in paint and then put some blobs of the darker. And I'm using this comb to draw out some different shapes. I'm not sure that it'll do for all of it, but for the moment, it seems to be doing the job. Yeah, it's kind of okay. At least I can be sort of fairly consistent with it. Don't know. Don't know how pedantic to be at this stage. Anyway, I'll carry on and see.
I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. No, 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 no. It's never, ever, 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 ever gonna happen. I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. No, 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 no. It's never, ever, 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 ever gonna happen. I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. No, 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 no. It's never, ever, 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 ever gonna happen.
Okay, I'm just doing the tops. Really quite roughly, really.
Of course, it might have helped if I'd actually done this so that you could see it and then the end result was in focus, but so much for my camera skills.
Okay, let's leave it to dry. Okay, so this is them at this stage. Top's done, base is waiting to be done. I'm a little worried that it's a bit lumpy, or it's, you know, 3D. Don't know how flat it'll dry, but I think if I did it again, I would either thin the paint down more or just use less paint in general. I think I'm going to wind up having to give this a very light sand to smooth it all off. We'll have to see. Okay, so I've woken up and it's the next day. They took about 12 hours to dry overnight, but at least I can handle them now to do the bases. And it's dried a lot flatter than I thought. They actually look much better in real life than they are from what I can see on this camera. But anyway, I'm going to press on and do the bases. We're back outside because the bases took about 4 hours to dry, and now it's about lacquering them, and I really want to do it as heavily as possible, so it's going to probably involve several coats. I'm using this stuff from Halfords for cars, which I've used before, and it always seems to give a good finish. It's the next day and we're back inside, and it's had several coats of varnish, giving it quite a gloss. I was right when I said much earlier on that the better your surface was, and if you put some time into the preparation, the better the end result would be, because when they're super glossy like this, any imperfection, lump or bump or gap or whatever gets a bit highlighted. So that could be it finished, but always one for wanting to gild the lily. I think I'm going to do a bit more to it. I'll be back in a second and show you. Literally what I want to do is gild the lily by using one of these, I don't know if you can see it, gold pens. I mean, that literally is gold leaf in a pen. As you can see, it's been well used over the years, and the nib is a bit squished. When they're new, they're much easier to do. But literally all you do, let's see if I can get this all in camera, is take it square on, along the edge, straight up like that. And I'm going to go around and I'm going to do that to all the sides, any square edges, maybe some around the base, and I'll come back to you showing you the end result. But I have to sort of slightly concentrate. So yeah, and not being able to do two things at once, I'm going to switch you off and come back when I've done it. Here we have it more or less done. Is it in focus? Yeah, I've gone around the edges, any straight edge. These ones were difficult. I've got to still do some touching up there. And it's still, this stuff is great, but it remains tacky for quite some time. So I'm gonna fiddle around with it, and then when it's dry, give it yet another coat of lacquer, and then we'll be ready for the final show.
Well, if you made it to the end, thanks for watching. Next time you see these, they should be hopefully gracing either side of my mantelpiece at the PepperPot. Cheers!